So, hello everyone. Yeah, so just to get over the shameless promotion of the company itself, I will say a few words about Fashion Days and then elaborate a little more on my experience, and then I will turn to what has been given to me as the topic, that how did technologies and online commerce change the retail industry. This is about the past, and I'm really grateful that Fraser talked about the future before me. So now we can have a look at the past. So Fashion Days, as you might know, is striving to be the #1 fashion destination in Central Eastern Europe, and in this market, in Bulgaria specifically. And I think we are in competition with this venue, because I saw the billboard saying that this is also a fashion destination. So in that sense, I think we really are in competition, and we have been around now for 5 years, and we started out not as the #1 fashion destination, but more as a flash sales site. And but since then, we have developed, and we grew enormously. We are now in 7 countries in the region, and we have almost 7 million members in our database, and we are runaway market leaders in the online fashion commerce. Well, pretty much in all the countries, but in Bulgaria, definitely. So I hope that most of you do know about Fashion Days. Now, my own experience, as Steve has said, it was that I got involved from the very beginning, from the end of the 90s, in a lot of startups, a number of startups, and one of them became the very successful, most successful, biggest social network in Hungary. We are talking about pre-Facebook, of course, because as in all the markets, eventually Facebook, after the localization came, and it's a sad story, but the social network that we sold in 2007 to Deutsche Telekom will be closed on the 30th of June. As in, well, most of the social networks are being closed down. So let me turn to the presentation after this little promotion for the company and myself. I will, no surprise, start to talk about how social shopping is. And I will, throughout this talk, I will concentrate on, well, as I'm talking about the past, how it has really changed. So when you look at this picture, you probably realize that, yeah, for these people, probably this shopping experience is a social experience. Social, it can be social in many ways. You can go shopping with friends. You can meet neighbors if you're going to a local market. You regularly meet, actually, people from your neighborhood if you go to a local market. So it's really a social experience in that sense. You can also see a lot of families go to the malls, even this mall. You go out, you see a lot of families. For them, that's a social thing. You see people meet and go to the movies and then go shopping. That's also social. So in this conference, which is very much geared towards or focused on startups, I think this is very important to see that when we talk in this conference about social, well, we basically talk about Facebook because we call it social, but 99.9% of the times that means Facebook, right? So shopping used to be a social experience in an entirely different way. How is it social now? What is social shopping? Well, it's this, pretty much, that they tell you that you have to build social features into any e-commerce or, well, basically any new stuff that you build. And what does that social function, what do the social functions mean? It basically means this. It's very, very different from what was meant by social earlier. So I think this is a very important change. And as you may also realize, I will focus very much on the word. So the meaning of the word changed so much. Well, the opening hours. I start out with the present here. When you call customer service, you speak to customer service, or they call you in a really advanced environment. Fashion Days would call you back if you left a message to Fashion Days. someone from a call center would call, and this is how it would look. And they would be there, well, either with extended hours or, well, 24 hours a day, 24/7. This is very, how to say, I mean, it's obvious to everyone that in online commerce, in mobile commerce, you can purchase stuff anytime, so the opening hours are, well, 24/7. But the most recently, even the personal support that you can get through the call center by calling these people would be following this extended hours, would probably be 24/7. So how does that compare to the past? Yeah, they closed down the mall, probably this mall as well for the night. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I assume they do. And, well, you cannot talk to anyone from that store that you bought your stuff in. So, I mean, opening hours were quite different. Now we take that for granted, right? That opening hours are, well, extended or 24/7, pretty much. And this is, well, it's for the malls, right? And other stores. Personalization. In the past, for a great occasion, people would, oh, I'm concentrating on fashion, although it's like about the industry in general, but my examples will mostly be from fashion. Personalization it used to be, well, that they made a really personalized one-off stuff for a great occasion. Maybe someone was getting married, whatever was happening, special occasion, there would be something. But in the end, it might be that everything was personalized. And we took, I mean, that kind of personalization was then lost when mass production came in. And most of our memories from, let's say, the, well, even the most recent is that, well, there's not much personalization, right? But there has come the time when you can, well, basically build it for yourself, get it personalized, and then get the thing through the internet. You probably know the website that I'm showing here, and you know that you can order. I mean, it's a really great model, threadless. And I suggest that if you're into T-shirts, just visit the site and check it out, what kind of T-shirts you can get. But you can get it in any size, any color, with any print that they offer, and you can also take part in creating the print that is put on there. So that's, again, very different from what we had before. Now, the next thing that I'd like to talk about is content, and here I have, like, well, we, as the #1 fashion destination, we are creating content, of course, through photo shootings. And yeah, so I just used this photograph to show you that we are using content, but content originally was like this in the magazines. And these are product pages from a ladies' magazine. Very far from commerce, but it says the price, where you can get it, but really very far. But the content was separated from the place of sale, or the channel, or the place where you could actually get hold of the stuff. Now, how has that changed? Well, you wouldn't necessarily be able nowadays to tell a content site from a commerce site, from an e-commerce site. Best e-commerce sites look as good as a magazine. Fashion Days looks really good, and we create all that content to present the fashion that we are selling, well, in a fitting environment. And you should be one click, one swipe away from purchasing the stuff. Whether it's on an iPad, whether it's on the computer screen, content has become much closer and more integrated with how the retail industry actually works. Now, a little bit more play with the words is that formerly you would look at the tags on a product, right? I mean, tags were important information that, price, you check it out, you check out what it's made of, you check out the size, maybe some other stuff, where it was manufactured, etc. Now, you no longer look at those tags. I mean, you order most of the stuff online, it arrives, why would you look at the tags? I mean, you knew everything before you even made the purchase. Most of this information that is there on the tags was provided to you way, way earlier when you made the decision about the purchase. So tags now mean something very different, actually. This is what you tag people and products on Facebook to gain exposure. And this is an example that we were doing when we had some celebrity supermodels and and photo shooting and wearing fashion that we sell. We tagged both the supermodels and the products. And these kind of tagging brings better results and is more relevant. And then when you look at buttons, I mean, I could go for the Shop Now button probably, but that's a little different. These are just old style buttons. And how is technology changing that? This is a high-tech button that contains a microchip and allows for the product to be identified to in all respects, and holds all the information about the product. It actually replaces the old style tags, and this is what they use now in the large warehouses, and probably you will be using, or you might be using even at home, to identify if you got the right product. And then transport, I think, ladies love to transport stuff home from the mall, and this is the new, or the old way of how the product's made the last mile into the home from the retail unit. And that with e-commerce is also radically changed. I mean, I've just heard that in the UK, and Fraser can probably confirm or discredit this, but that you drive on the highway and you see the Tesco. There used to be a big Tesco supermarket, and you go there and you realize that now it's a fulfillment center. It's closed down entirely, and you have to drive another 100 miles before you find an actual Tesco supermarket that's open, because most of these were turned into, fulfillment centers from where the last mile or the last few miles the product finds its way to the homes, to the customers, through all these nice nice vans. And you see much more of the vans, whether they're UPS, whether they're owned by Tesco, as in that case, or any other messenger service. This is the mode of transport for the last mile. And then lastly, I just wanted to say that, for instance, in fashion, travel. You would travel to shop. Everyone would love to go to Milan. This is from Milan. And shop there in these wonderful shops that were available. You could travel to shop. Why? Now that, of course, some people still travel, and there's a lot of fun in that. To travel to Milan, I strongly recommend. But however, the interesting thing is that this photograph, this picture, is actually, used to be, because it's no longer there, was the background of a closed shopping club login page. And this was actually an aggregator. It's now no longer online, because apparently it wasn't such a successful model in the end. But the thing is that this was the actual login screen. So this is a screenshot of this aggregator side of fashion shopping clubs, where you could find the offers from a number of fashion retailers online. So it brings the whole word to you. Why would you be traveling? But however, it's interesting that the image was still of Milan. So I think that's it from me for today, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. We're running a little bit behind. We're about 35 minutes behind, so we don't have much time for Q&A, but if somebody's got one question burning out there, who is it? Anybody? Fashion Days question? There we go. Performance mark, y'all. Heather, thank you. Let's do it. I'm going to share this with you.
Thank you. So I have a question, because I think that obviously part of the reason why e-commerce has taken off in shopping is the convenience of it and the ability to kind of get what you want and shop across many marketplaces, and just the speed at which you can find what you're looking for. The thing that it misses is that touching the fabric, or the personalization, having someone help you find things. And from my perspective as an avid online shopper, it doesn't seem like we've made a lot of advances in terms of being able to personalize. If you like this, you're going to find something else. Do you see any advances in sort of the pipeline in terms of being able to help people, replicate that offline? Sorry, I don't know if I'm too close. Okay. To replicate the in-store experience in a better and more meaningful way online, or do you think it's still just too far away?
Yeah, so that's a very interesting question, and I would say that what I see there is that probably not all solutions need an answer from technology. Maybe technology currently is not even close to really help you with this kind of problem that you would. Because what would be the best if you could go, well, shopping is in a physical environment at home, right? And yeah, so then you would save all the time, but you would still have the experience. Maybe the neighbors would, or family could be with you. I mean, it would be social as well. But I don't think that's the way we should be looking for a solution now. So I would say that if you look at the fulfillment and how it is optimized and how it gets cheaper, then I think that the solution is rather towards there. Is that such a big factor in your decision? Should it be such a big factor? Can you return those goods maybe? Or that should it? I mean, you eventually get your products and you eventually get in physical contact with your products. If the whole industry is at that level that it can afford for this to be widespread, that you order but you return, then that's a solution. And I see the solution in the short to mid-term there, and not in technology. What I see in technology is rather sci-fi, but what obviously, I mean, we have seen that stuff that now belongs to the world of sci-fi becomes reality, but I wouldn't be able to really say that how eventually it will come about.
All right, and with that, thank you very much, Gabor.